Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me this evening. And I want to share some thoughts this evening. I have some very interesting thoughts, and I believe that I have some very unique thoughts. And I would love to know your feedback in the comments, so please go ahead and comment below. Okay, so what I want to talk about this evening is the concept of non-intervention. Non-intervention, okay? So let me explain that. So when it comes to aliens, right, it is said in every alien enthusiast community that I've ever come across that there is a non-intervention rule, right? That there's some type of council in the galaxy, an intergalactic federation or council, whereby there are laws within our galaxy and perhaps further afield, covering a wider area, and that these rules is basically like the UN on the Earth, right? You can't just go about the galaxy doing what the hell you want. That there are certain no-go areas or things that you can't do, right? Such as interfere with a civilization, right? So most alien communities would say, oh, the aliens, they can't just come here and rescue humanity and help us and etc., because there's like this rule of non-intervention. And that's what I want to discuss tonight, and I want to share some thoughts on it. Okay, but before I do, there's an interesting parallel, because if you look at religion, there's also a non-intervention rule for God. Okay, so we are living in a time of chaos and suffering, and people are getting killed and tortured, and horrific things are happening to people, and people are getting sick, and people are dying painful deaths, and governments are doing cruel things to people, and there's all sorts of crap going on, the monetary system. Okay, there's poverty, there's all sorts, the list is endless. Okay, so people question, why is this allowed to go on? Why isn't there some type of divine intervention? And the answer that apologists will give in the religious fields, they would say, well, God will not interfere with man until the time comes, and when the time comes, then he'll come back and he'll sort everything out, and everything will be made right again. Okay, so there's a parallel there, because that is what is said of God where religions are concerned, and where aliens are concerned, it is said among the alien churches, if you like. Some talking symbolically here in parallels. Okay, there's no alien churches, but you know what I mean, right? It is said that aliens can't come and interfere and influence the course of evolution on the Earth. Okay, well, here are my thoughts on that. Thought number one is that we have been interfered with in the past. Okay, all right, so you could argue, oh, but this whole galactic federation is new, it didn't exist in the past. Well, maybe, I don't know, all right, but the fact is we have been interfered with in the past, right? On both sides, let's work with this parallel again. So in the Old Testament of the Bible, there's a lot of intervention and meddling and involvement with humanity. Okay, and in the alien field, we have now, okay, we don't have time to go into the ins and outs and talking about proof and backing up these things. I'm just going to get this all out and off my chest, right? But, say the pyramids, right? The Egyptians says that they were built by the sun gods. Okay, what do they mean by that? Maybe they meant aliens. I mean, that would be the conclusion I would jump to, right? Okay, but that's a whole topic for another video, right? But you've got the rise of the Sumerian Empire, very quickly, right? And you've got the establishment of very advanced systems like agriculture government, police, the first written language, all of that came, and the writings speak of the Anunnaki who lived among them. And the Anunnaki translates those who from heaven to earth came, right? So we've got alien intervention in history. Okay, now if you want to know more, just watch the Ancient Aliens series on the History Channel, right? It goes into it in a lot of depth. There's a lot of episodes. Okay, so in the past, yes. Okay, so what about the future? Now, I want to put it to you that maybe this whole non-intervention talk is a myth, right? I am leaning towards maybe not believing it, because any alien race that truly wanted to or truly felt compelled to come down and help us out and show us the way, or even destroy us, whatever, whether they're good or whether they're bad, any one of them can do it, right? On the Earth, where you've got the UN, just because the UN is there policing the world doesn't mean that everyone complies. Nations still do what they want. It's the same in the galaxy, right? Now then, okay, I want to explore the possibility that perhaps all the civilizations in our galaxy, and we're talking about around 10,000 of them or a lot more, 10,000 being a conservative estimate, right? I based that on the Drake equation. So it is a logical train of thought, right? It was a very rational, logical conclusion that there are a minimum of 10,000 advanced civilizations, not bacterial life. We're not talking about that. We're talking about advanced civilizations just in the Milky Way, right? Okay, so maybe they are not all that more advanced than us. Okay, now we know that the universe has had a beginning. The universe is around 14 billion years old. It began with a big bang, right? That's what all scientists are agreeing on in this day, right? It's feasible, right? So, it's not that the universe has never had a beginning. It did have a beginning, right? Perhaps the multiverse is eternal, who knows? But our universe that we live in popped into existence and continues to exist. How long it will exist for is I don't know. But it did start, okay? So if the universe started, then we know that, there couldn't be life on any planet until all the planets became established, right? So you got the Big Bang, you got all the debris, and it took a long time for the planets to form, and for the suns to form, and the planetary systems, right? So there would not have been any life in the universe until things had settled down, right? Then once things had settled down and planets had started to form, planetary systems got established and stabilized, and then you got time for atmospheres to form. Then we can start forming life, right? Now we started with dinosaurs on Earth, and then the dinosaurs became extinct, and then humans came along. What about other planets? Did humans come a lot earlier? Did they come a lot later? All right, we don't know, right? But the fact is, right, well, not the fact, it's not the fact, right? But a possibility is that maybe that all life in our galaxy is around the same age, give or take a few million years, right? Now, here's another thing, right? Could it be the reason that aliens are not here to intervene and help or destroy or whatever it is they want to do? Are they not coming here for the simple reason that is nothing to do with non-intervention? It could be that they feel a little bit like this is a big challenge, right? We've got 7 billion people on the Earth. We've got a hell of a lot of weapons. We've got crazy minds. We got psycho presidents and leaders, right? We're a bit of a crazy planet, and we've got the potential to cause a lot of damage, right? Now, people say that if aliens came, that it will be no contest, that they could zap us and wipe us out because they're so technologically advanced. Just because they can get to us from a long way away does not mean that they are unimaginably technologically advanced, right? It does not mean that. It just means that they have discovered deep space travel and can get from point A to point B in the universe. And so can we. Now that sounds crazy, but it has been said publicly by the CEO of Lockheed Martin that we have the technology to do deep space travel. And he also said we have the technology for ET to phone home. Now you could say that he was joking, right? Was he joking? Was he not? I don't know, right? But I think that everyone listening to me cannot 100% say that we do not have, because we all know that the government keeps advanced technology secret for a time. It's developed privately and it's classified and patented or whatever, and it's much later that we become aware of it, much later, right? And that's a well-known fact. They reckon that technology is at least 50 years ahead of what we know publicly as ordinary people, right? So we could very well have the capability of deep space travel. So that puts us at the same technological level as the aliens who visit us, or could visit us if they found us and wanted to come, right? Okay, so now just because aliens are technologically advanced enough to get here does not mean that they can't be destroyed, right? So if you've got some good, well-intentioned aliens that want to come here, right, and they're scared because they bleed just like us, they can be shot down just like us, right? They might have incredible technology in their spaceships, but they can still be shot down, right? We've got some serious weapons. I imagine, my guess is that they are not 100% confident and that they're scared for their lives, right? They could well be. Especially if they have observed us and know us to be rather unstable as a race of people, right? So maybe this non-intervention thing is a load of rubbish and it's an excuse, because the thing is, like, religious people use this non-intervention thing to justify the fact that God allows suffering on the earth, right? Because, you know, you can't very well say that God is loving and then, like, say, and he's okay with people suffering and you know, living in pain and dying horribly, right? You have to make up some kind of an excuse as to why that's allowed to go on, right? And so you have to say, well, he's going to come in the future, right? Okay, so the alien people, they might say, well, yeah, the aliens aren't here flying all around, meddling in our business every day, simply because there's a non-intervention rule. It gets them off the hook, right? When having debates. I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced. I do believe that any alien race could come here and help us, but they are maybe dubious of doing so, right? So what we should be doing as alien communities, alien enthusiast communities, wanting to know the truth, wanting to, you know, get disclosure and have engagement with aliens and put us out there on the map intergalactically, we should be trying to maybe you know, bridge that gap between our Earth and the alien community, right? Don't know how, but that's what I think we should be doing. Okay, so let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I look forward to your feedback, and I will talk to you in the next video.